Hey Falcons, Mrs. Pfeiffer here for week 5, part 2 of our summer learning. Um, Last video we talked all about adjectives and schema, and we talked about our vocabulary words back there, and we did a little schema activities about spider webs and how much you already knew about spider webs. Right now what I want you to do is tell someone in the room, first tell them what's an adjective. Second, tell them what's schema. What do those two things mean? First, tell them what's an adjective. Second, tell them what's schema. If you said that an adjective is a word that describes a noun, you're correct. So an adjective is things that we use our senses for, like we read the Dragons Love Tacos book, and we said that the tacos were crunchy, the pan was sizzling, the peppers were green and red. Those are all adjectives. They are describing things. And remember, the noun is a person, place, or thing. Now, schema we talked about in the last video for the first time, and schema is what you already know, how you're connecting to the story of things you already know, things it might remind you of. And we talked about how we all, living in Ohio, we all know about spider webs, and we talked about how they're sticky and that bugs get stuck in them and spiders make them, and we see them a lot at Halloween in October, okay? So you already have a big background of spider webs. There's a lot of things you already know, and when you're reading, it's important to make those connections to help you better understand the story. Today we're going to read something beautiful, and I think you're going to be able to make a lot of connections in this story. But before we start that, let's go over our vocabulary words again. And I want you doing the motions with me, as always. So, mirrors on. Caring means to be kind, to be kind. Beautiful means to be attracted to the eyes or feelings, things like that. Laundrette means a laundromat, a laundromat. Citizenship means to be a part of a community, to be a part of a community. Self-esteem means your confidence in yourself, your confidence in yourself. The courtyard means a yard outside without a roof, a yard outside without a roof that's sometimes fenced in, Okay, mirrors off. Okay, so those are our vocabulary words. You're going to find those all throughout the story. I know a lot of them you're like, Mrs. Pfeiffer, we already know what caring means. We already know what beautiful is. But I want you to know that, so you're going to be looking at it in different ways in the story. Okay? Now, schema in this story. This story isn't just about her seeing something beautiful. You're going to go through and you're going to use your 5 senses. Like, we're going to find a lot of adjectives because we're going to use our sense of sight, our sense of hearing, our sense of smell. We're going to use taste and touch. Okay, in this story, you're going to see all those things being used. Okay, I want you to make sure you're looking for those things. Also in the story, it's talking about her community and how she's finding things in her community that are beautiful. At the beginning, you'll see that maybe she's seeing things that aren't very beautiful in her community, and the people that are in her community are helping her realize that it can be really beautiful. So stick around. If you have this book, get it out and read along with me. But what I want you to be doing while we're reading is thinking about the schema, what you already know, and relating it to what you already know. You can pause this video anytime and stop and say, Mom, Dad, sister, brother, grandma, grandpa, whoever's in your house, your friend, your babysitter, tell them, hey, this reminds me of, or I'm connecting this to a time that we saw trash in our neighborhood, things like that. So we'll stop and we'll make those connections together, but I also want you to pause it if you come up with something. I can't be there to hear it, so tell someone else, okay? And then what I also want you to do is we're going to do this in the next activity. So we're going to be, there we go. We're going to be using our five senses, and we're going to be finding things that are beautiful to us. We're going to be looking in the story first, and then your challenge is going to be finding things that are beautiful using your sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch, okay? We'll work on this later in the next video. But right now, let's get started on our story. Something beautiful. When I look through my window, I see a brick wall. There is trash in the courtyard and a broken bottle that looks like fallen stars. That doesn't look very beautiful. Have any of you seen a yard that looks like that before? I have. It's pretty sad, huh? People need to take care of their yard and things like that. There's writing in the halls of my building. On the front door, someone put the word die. So waking up and looking at that every day you leave or go into your house, that would make you feel, that wouldn't be very good, would it? Where I walk, I pass a lady whose home is a big cardboard carton. She sleeps on the sidewalk wrapped in plastic. Have you ever seen anyone sleeping on the street? It's really sad. I'm making my schema. I went to the store the other day and I saw a lady that she was outside, and we gave her a little bit of money, but she was begging for money. Some people just have it rougher than others. I run past a dark alley where Mommy told me I must never stop. Behind a fence, there is a garden without any flowers. Mommy said that everyone should have something beautiful in their life. Where is my something beautiful? Have you ever felt like you might not have something right now, like you're just kind of down in the dumps about something, so you don't find anything beautiful or anything exciting? That's kind of what she's feeling. So she has to run past this alley because it might not be a very good part of her neighborhood. Do you have a part of your neighborhood that's not very good? I do. The teacher taught me the word in school. I wrote it in my book. Beautiful. Beautiful. I think it means something that when you have it, your heart is happy. Do you guys ever feel that way about something? Is there something that just makes your heart happy? I do. My family makes my heart happy. When we went to the beach, that makes my heart happy because it's so beautiful there. So there's lots of things I'm sure in your life that just makes your heart happy. Those things are beautiful. I go to Miss Daphne's diner. Hi there, Sugar Pie, said Miss Daphne. What are you up to? I'm looking for something beautiful, I tell her. Sit down for a minute, she says as she goes to the grill. She puts on fish. The fish sizzles. Miss Daphne makes it into a sandwich. There's nothing more beautiful tasting than my fried fish sandwiches, she tells me. My teeth sink in. This is good. So what sense is she using? Is she using her sight? She's seeing the fish sandwich, but she's actually tasting it, and she's saying it tastes beautiful. Okay, so it's making her heart happy to eat that fish sandwich. When I go back outside, I see some of my friends. Do you have something beautiful? I ask them. I have my jump rope, says Sybil. I have my beads, says Rebecca. Check out my new shoes, says Jamal. So they all are sharing something beautiful to them with her. My fruit store is one beautiful store, says Mr. Lee. You do have nice apples, I say. Thank you, says Mr. Lee. Take one. Look at all those colors. That is pretty beautiful. Have you guys ever, this picture, I'm using my schema of when my family and I like to go to the Hartville flea market, or just a market with all the fruits and vegetables, or even at a grocery store with all the fruits and vegetables, and you see all the colors, and everything looks so good. That's my schema of looking at this picture. It reminds me of when we go to the flea market to get fruits and vegetables and things like that for our house. Watch my moves, says Mark, playing ball in the playground. Hear my sound, says Georgina, dancing on the sidewalk. Touch this smooth stone, says Mr. Sims, sitting on the front steps. All these years I have carried it in my pocket. Through the big window, in the laundrette, I see Aunt Carolyn holding baby Carl. And where are you off to, little miss? She asks me. I'm looking for something beautiful, I say. She hands me Carl and folds up the clothes. I tickle Carl and he giggles. He makes me giggle too. My baby's laugh is something beautiful, says Aunt Carolyn. So now she's hearing the giggle, the laugh. Laughter is beautiful. Beautiful to me, at least. I go back home and I sit down on my stoop. I look at the trash in the courtyard. I see the word die on my door. I go upstairs and get a broom and a sponge and some water. I pick up the trash. I sweep up the glass. I scrub the door very hard. When dye disappears, I feel powerful. Someday, I'll plant flowers in my courtyard. I'll invite my friends to see. I will give a real home and a real bed to the lady who sleeps in a cardboard carton. She will sing and I will hear her song. Mommy comes home from work. She gives me a great big hug. Do you have something beautiful? I asked her. Of course, she says. I have you. Do any of your family members, are they beautiful to you? I know I have some beautiful family members. Things that they are definitely special to me and make my heart happy. So in this story, that was a great story. That's the end. So in this story, there were lots of things you could connect to, right? You have a neighborhood, whether your neighborhood is, maybe a little larger if you have some land to play on, or whether your neighborhood, you have houses next door to you. Everybody's neighborhood might be a little different. And that's what's so special about it. So when you're reading books, especially things like this one, you can make connections. You have a neighborhood. You've seen trash. You've seen some of these different things, like at the grocery store. You've seen fruits and vegetables, I'm sure. So using your five senses in this story, they use their five senses for all different kinds of things. And in the next video, we'll go over all of those things that all the senses that she saw. I hope you enjoyed the story, and I hope you pointed out a bunch of adjectives too, because there were a lot in there, and we'll talk about those in the next video too. I will see you then.